The plasmacaster is the weapon everyone remembers. Shoulder-mounted, head-tracked, a bolt of blue plasma that finds a man's chest before he hears the sound. It has been the face of the hunt since 1987, and most people would call it the deadliest thing a predator carries. They would be wrong about the ranking, and wrong about the reason. By the end of this, you'll have the entire arsenal ordered, from the weakest tool to the deadliest. And you'll know the one weapon a predator reaches for only when it wants the kill to mean something. It is not the plasmacaster. It is not the one you're thinking of. Start at the floor. The net gun. The weapon that was never built to kill. In Predator 2, released in 1990, the city hunter fires a mesh that constricts on impact, dragging its target into a wall and tightening until the wire cuts skin. It is vicious. It is also not a killing weapon. The net exists to hold, to pin, to strip a fight down to something the hunter controls completely. That is the whole point of ranking it last. It isn't weak because it fails. It's weak because killing was never its job. Every other weapon on this list is designed to end a life. The net is designed to decide, at leisure, how that life ends. The hunter that reaches for it first is a hunter in no hurry, which is exactly the mindset the next weapon punishes. The shield. Survival gear that learned to kill. In Prey, released in 2022, the feral predator carries a folding-bladed buckler, retractable, worn on the forearm, the oldest-looking piece of tech in the franchise. Rank it 9th because it's defensive by design and offensive by accident. It blocks, it deflects, and then it snaps open into an edge that takes a French trapper's arm off at close range. The shield tells you something about the era. This is the species before the plasma, before the head tracking, when a hunt was still mostly muscle and edge. It is survival gear that learned to kill. The hunters who carried it didn't out-tech their prey, they outlasted them. The smart disc, lethal and lendable. In Predator 2, it's called the shuriken. In the 2004 Alien vs. Predator film, it returns as a spinning circular blade that decapitates on a curved return arc. At range, it is one of the cleanest killing tools in the arsenal. It removes heads and comes back to the hand. Here's the contradiction that drops it to 8th. It is the one weapon the prey keeps stealing. Harrigan catches it mid-flight in Predator 2 and turns it on the hunter. Royce straps a stolen blade to a tree in Predators, released in 2010, and uses it as a trap. A weapon this elegant should never end up in a human's hand. This one does, more than any other. Lethal and lendable. A bad combination for a species that treats its tools as extensions of its honor. 8 weapons left, and we haven't reached anything a predator would call sacred yet. The next one is the blade a hunter plants in the ground to say this fight is mine, and the one after it is built to kill everything the hunter has ever touched. The combi-stick. The first weapon that asks the hunter to earn the kill. A collapsing spear seen in Predator 2 and again in Prey, extending from a hand grip into a double-bladed staff. In the Dark Horse comics and the novels, it carries a name, the Kiktipa, though the films never say it, so treat that as expanded canon, not screen fact. Rank it 7th on lethality, higher on meaning. The combi-stick is a close to mid-range weapon that demands commitment. You throw it, or you close with it, and either way, you've stepped inside your prey's reach. Naru takes one in Prey and beats a predator with its own logic. That's the tell. The spear rewards a hunter who wants the kill earned, not delivered. It is the first genuinely honorable weapon on this list, and it will not be the last. The plasma pistol. The cleaner's tool. In Alien vs. Predator, Requiem, released in 2007, the predator known to fans as Wolf carries a compact sidearm, a handheld plasma weapon, precise, quiet, surgical. Wolf is the cleaner, the predator sent not to hunt for sport, but to erase the evidence that a hunt ever happened. His pistol fits the job. It's a downgrade in raw power from the shoulder cannon, and an upgrade in discipline, a tool for a hunter who cannot afford spectacle. Rank it 6th. It kills efficiently and leaves nothing behind, which is precisely why it never inspired the fear the big cannon did. Terror needs a witness. Wolf was sent to make sure there weren't any. The self-destruct device. The weapon that kills the hunter using it. In the 1987 original, the jungle hunter, mortally wounded, out of options, arms a wrist-mounted device and offers Dutch a laughing countdown to a blast that levels the surrounding jungle. In the expanded material, the yield is framed as near nuclear, though the films only ever show the crater, so hold that number loosely. Here is the paradox that ranks it fifth. It is the deadliest weapon a predator owns by sheer blast radius, and the only one guaranteed to kill the hunter using it. It is not a weapon of the hunt. It is a weapon of the code. No body, no evidence, no captured technology, no trophy for anyone else. The self-destruct is the species choosing erasure over defeat. A hunter only reaches for it when the hunt is already lost. 4 weapons left. Every one of them has ended a fight on screen, and the next one doesn't strike a single blow. It just decides who dies before the fight begins. The mask and thermal suite. The strongest sense, defeated by the oldest trick. In 1987, the hunt begins with sight. The biomask filters the world into heat, layering thermal vision over targeting data, letting a predator read a man's pulse through foliage in full dark. Call it the deadliest sense in the franchise, and rank the suite 4th, because the kill starts here. You cannot spear what you cannot find. And then the contradiction that defines the whole species. Thermal vision is the predator's greatest weapon. It is also the exact reason a man caked in cold river mud walked past one untouched in 1987, and the reason mud and fire keep working against them across the films, into Prey in 2022. The eyes that make them apex are the eyes that can be blinded with dirt. The strongest sense, defeated by the oldest trick. Active camouflage, the deadliest weapon that never lands a blow. The cloak, introduced in 1987, bends light around the hunter, leaving a shimmer where a body should be. Rank it 3rd, and understand why a weapon that never lands a blow sits this high. The cloak doesn't kill, it converts. Every other weapon in this arsenal becomes twice as lethal the moment the thing holding it disappears. A combi-stick is dangerous. A combi-stick thrown by nothing you can see is an execution. The cloak is the multiplier, the reason the predator is a hunter and not merely a warrior. It turns a fair fight into a series of one-sided moments the prey never sees coming. Take the cloak away, and the species is just very strong and very tall. Leave it on, and every tool it owns kills from a place you cannot aim at. That distance, the safety of the unseen kill, is exactly what the next weapon refuses. The wristblades. The signature. The honor kill. Twin retractable blades, worn on the forearm since 1987, the signature silhouette of the entire franchise. Consider what the wristblades ask of the hunter. Every other weapon buys distance. The plasmacaster kills across a clearing. The disc kills and returns. The cloak kills from nowhere. The blades kill from arm's length, close enough to be struck back, close enough to bleed, close enough to die. To use them is to give up every advantage the technology bought and stand inside your prey's reach on purpose. In the comics and novels, this is framed as the highest form of the hunt, the honorable kill, prey, and hunter on even ground. Expanded canon language, the films never speak aloud but show constantly. The most feared hunter in the galaxy owns a weapon that can end a life from a mile away, and chooses, again and again, the one that forces it within reach of its own death. That is not a limitation. That is the point of the whole ritual. Rank the blades 2nd, deadliest in the hunter's hand, most meaningful in the hunter's code. But not the deadliest weapon it carries. The plasmacaster. The deadliest weapon the species owns, and not the one that matters most. The shoulder cannon. Head-tracked, laser triangulated, firing bolts of plasma that punch through bodies and walls with equal indifference. It has killed more on screen than anything else the species owns, from 1987 to Prey. At range, it is untouchable. No reach, no reflex, no cover that reliably holds. Rank it 1st on pure lethality without hesitation. It is the deadliest weapon a predator carries, and it is not the one that matters most. The plasmacaster is the deadliest weapon the species owns. The wristblades are the weapon it reaches for when the kill has to mean something. The gap between those two, range versus honor, the safe kill versus the earned one, is the entire predator. One weapon wins the fight. The other tells you what the hunter is. You now have the full arsenal, floor to apex. 10 weapons, weakest to deadliest. And the one truth the ranking is built to reveal. deadliest and most meaningful, were never the same weapon. Next in the vault, we take the hunters themselves and rank every predator in the films from weakest to strongest, because the arsenal is only as lethal as the hand that carries it. And one of these hunters lost to prey with none of this technology at all. Here's the question worth leaving on. Strip a predator of everything but one tool. Send it into a real hunt. Which weapon do you hand it? And does that choice make it deadlier or just more honorable? Tell me in the comments.